What should the mayor's role be regarding the relationship with Akron Public Schools? How do you see that relationship?
I think that the mayor's office, and I'm sure that they do some of this now, they need to collaborate with the Akron Public Schools to examine what are the best practices out here, what's working, what's not working. Don't just look in the United States. We've dropped down here. China's risen up here. Brazil's risen. India's risen. They have great practices there in those countries, and they're proven to be true. Let's take a look at those practices. And again, I say, let's, think about educating the whole student. And as an elected body, the school board, when they do take those seats, there's times that you need some additional training and education to understand the system, the educational system, and how it's going to impact our kids as they grow and they move on. Because my granddaughter, who's sitting over there, when she graduates college, and she's only 12, she may be working from Akron, but working for China. You need to understand that. It is what it is. So I would partner with them to look at best practices within our country borders and outside of our borders.
Okay, Councilman Williams?
First of all, the schools are critical to the economic health of this community. The mayor, although he does not have constitutional authority, has the responsibility to make sure that the schools, particularly the Akron Public Schools, are producing young people that have the ability to move this community forward, fill the jobs that are out there, and each child today has to have a skill set. No longer can a child graduate from high school, be unskilled, and get a good job. You have to have a set of skills. The mayor's office should be very involved in putting together partnerships between businesses and the public school system so that the school systems are in tune to the changes and the needs of businesses today. I will have a position in my cabinet dedicated to youth and youth services. That is critical, and they will be dealing with and be very close to the Akron Public Schools. Now, we've done some great things. Now, my opponent will tell you that he did them all by himself, but he did not. The community learning centers. I went out with other members to sell that to this community. Police in the school. We were involved in that process. The council was involved in that process. The bottom line here. Thank you.
This question is one that I was going to use very nicely. It's the greatest example of the need to stand up and fight for what's right. For 28 years, I joined with Marco Somerville, not you, Marco Somerville, to fight the school system. Fight, literally fight, argue, to get in the schools to use. And finally, I came up with community learning center idea, got it passed. Never saw him at a single meeting. I have to tell you, honest to God, Mom, honest to God, was never at a single meeting. We did that because now we get kids into school at the top 10 after-school program in the country, and that's what we always wanted, Marco and I, to get our kids in there to give after-school programs. We showed up at Schumacher School, Marco and I, school that he attended, to try to push the neighbors to understand a joint venture with our Lawton Street facility that Marco and I saved, not him. Those are the kinds of things that we've been building. I've been out on every single levy, and I was going to say it nicely, but I have never, ever, ever seen my opponent out there helping every levy that has been passed in this city. It's the difference. He talks about what he might do in the future. I'm talking about a level of service for 24 years in this community that, quite frankly, you know what? Some people aren't happy because, yes, I helped pass a levy to make sure kids got an education.